In this video, I'll show you how to manage your waves better. So if you played carry, make sure you watch this until the end. By the way, I'm Bizeyes, a LoL coach with over 3,439 students with rank between bronze and challenger coaching session book. So this will be the best wave management guide that you will ever watch. You should push if 1. You want to go for the recall. 2. You need to participate for something that happens around you. 3. You want to accelerate the push in order to increase the pressure. Remember that by you want to recall, this will mean you have enough gold for a significant power spike in base, or you're really low on mana or HP, or you simply want to get ready for an objective that is spawning in like around 45 seconds to 1 minute. Just watch this on the screen. I just killed Twitch, and what are we gonna do? Of course, Rengar is dead, Twitch is dead, and what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna push as fast as humanly possible. I'll make sure the wave crushes, and then we are going to recall immediately. Of course, this is Diamond 1 Master rank, so some of you could say, hey bro, but shouldn't Nami escort the wave? So the wave will immediately go into the tower because the enemy Seraphim that is around master tier should know that she should freeze. So Nami, if she's a human, she should escort. I agree, but again, as you can see, this is masters, below master, and even in low masters, people are not going to have the best knowledge about wave management. You need to participate for something that happens on the river. I mean, if your teammates are starting a fight, you should always consider hovering the fight, as long as the fight is close to you and reliable, in the case where you should definitely consider going there and follow up immediately. Otherwise, if the fight is far from you, you go and you push first. Think like my jungle is starting Drake can also be a good reason why I want to push. Just in this example, as you can see on the screen, my jungler is on the river, I'm playing Varus, I'm immediately trying to push so I can move on the river. Boom. Easy peasy. Of course, if the fight is happening really close to you, obviously, you can just immediately consider to move right away instead of just pushing. And if the fight is like really far and you know that you can't get there in time, pushing first so you can make sure the enemy carry doesn't follow, and going afterwards is better. So if fight is really close to you, follow right away, don't bother pushing. Fighting really far from you and you still want to join later on, make sure you push the wave and then you follow afterwards. By you want to accelerate the push in order to increase the pressure, I mean, let's say you know the enemy recalled and you have enough push power to get plates, or even better, your enemies are 1 HP into the tower and you know that they prepare for a fast recall, go and push the wave because you want to be able to pressure them under the tower and you want to be able to cancel the recalls. Just check out what you see on the screen right now. So Twitch is really low, so what am I going to do? Am I going to slow push? Absolutely not. I'm going to fast push because I want to increase the pressure that I'm going to have on him. Going for a slow push or playing it slow when I can just simply pressure the tower is pretty bad. So what I'm going to do right now, I am simply perma pushing. Since Twitch is actually very low, I do not care about going for a slow push, and I do not care about playing the game very slow. Why? It's because I really want to pressure him into the tower. I'm not going to let Twitch stay into the tower with 1 HP. I'm going to push him and I'm going to accelerate the pressure. Of course, those are not the only tips, but if a challenger player is asked about pushing, he will probably also tell you that some other lanes that you push like immediately level 1, just because you want to make sure you don't get bullied. So let's say we actually draw an example right here that say you are playing Sivir and you have Yuumi. In this matchup, it's pretty difficult for you to actually win the lane. Say you are playing against a Caitlyn with a Senna or a Lux, a very strong matchup that outranges you and completely out lanes you at all costs. So in this case, Sivir should perma push continuously so she doesn't get bullied. She starts W, she pushes like a psycho, first wave, second wave, third wave. She doesn't care about slow pushing because if she would try to slow push and play it slow, Caitlyn is actually able to poke her in the lane. So in these lanes, you can also look to use the push. There are also some other lanes where, say you are playing a champion that is extremely bad at farming under the tower, like Twitch, and you are playing something that is not able to win the lane significantly, like Sivir, and of course, let's say you're like, hey, I'm not going to kill Twitch with Sivir. I have, let's say, a safe support like Janna. So what am I going to do? I'm going to fast push because I know that the Twitch is not able to farm into the tower and is not able to CS into the tower properly. These are extra reasons compared to the ones that I gave you before that, why you could use the pushing in your favor. Of course, if these situations don't occur, you should usually just use slow push. So if you don't need to recall, if you don't need to be on the river, if you don't need to accelerate the pressure, just look to go for the slow push. It's really that simple. Oh yeah, one more thing. In the later stages, you never slow push, right? Because if you're like 30 minutes in the game and you're slow pushing the mid lane wave when everyone is grouped, I mean, you have to just push and just get vision for Baron. So fast pushing after the laning phase is gone, like after the first tower is gone, usually you never use slow push, just because think about it, right? Let's say you're AD carry, your bot lane, you lose your tower and you're with the wave right here. Enemy AD carry is going to go mid, completely screwing up your teammates. That you're gonna get SS pinged on the bot lane. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? And you're slow pushing. You need to play it fast. So either try to push the tower so you force the enemy AD carry going back to bot lane, or simply if he commits to going mid lane, at least you can just break the tower. So slow pushing in the later stages, slow pushing after the tower is gone is good in competitive clash, or when your teammates are going to be smart enough to not fight. This is not going to happen in solo queue. In solo queue, everyone is going to do ooga booga fighting, so do not slow push after the laning phase. Again, below master tier. An extra reason, of course, you have to also care about the jungle. This is the downside with the pushing. If you push, you will be vulnerable to jungle ganks. So I see a lot of low elo players not really respecting the jungle. Obviously, the jungle can be a scary one, like a Jarvan, or can be a weak one, like let's say Shyvana. And again, there are lanes where you're actually pushing intentionally to draw attention from the enemy jungle. Say they have a Shyvana and they have a Yuumi and they have a Sivir, and you are playing Caitlyn Morgana. The chances of you getting ganked can be high. It shouldn't be high, but if you get ganked, you're always gonna win the 2v3. You have so much disengaged, they don't have CC. So it's not really about, do I know where is the jungle, let me play safe. It's more about how threatening can be the jungle based on his engage, based on his setup. Of course, if we're talking about the early game jungle like Elise, and we're talking about Ooga Booga support like Nautilus that can engage, and maybe even a stronger AD carry like Samira, then the gank will actually be scary. So you shouldn't, like, there are so many situations in the game where you don't ward, you just play aggressive because you're 2v3 so easy. Again, these are a few, but still challenger players use it. They don't just use the stupid technique of, oh bro, just ward. No, there are lanes that you actually do not ward intentionally. Now let's go for like a little bit more in-depth situations and examples. So let's say level 1, you usually want to play for level 2 if you have an engaged support, and you want to play for poke if you have a range support. There are range supports that you also play for level 2, but in the given matchup, Caitlyn, Nami against Twitch Seraphim, we should look to push? No, we should look to zone. We have significantly more range than Twitch, and we have significantly more early game power, so that's what I'm doing. I'm staying in the brush so they don't really see this coming. And now I'm just going to poke. I'm not even touching the wave much. I'm trying to hit a little bit, but my main idea is I need to zone. This is master tier, so you can argue that I also have a reasonable support here. As you can see, I'm not really hitting them. I'm just staying super max range right here. Very max range, trying to go on the Twitch, trying to actually zone, trying to be outside of the brush as I get the minions, because if you hit the minions from the brush, they see you. As you can see, I step out of the brush, and then here I go into the brush. The Twitch starts W for vision into the brush. Super smart player, and now we just zone. It's that easy. So other people will be like, oh, but you need to get level 2. You need to... No, you don't. It just depends on the kind of laning phase that you had. Maybe if I had an Alistar and I didn't play Caitlyn, I played something that doesn't have significantly more range, maybe, yeah, I should have just played for level 2. But yeah, depending on the matchup, there are situations where you actually don't push at level 1 and you just look to zone. Same thing right here, like I don't need to actually crush it in the tower because I can use this wave and I can just zone here. So you guys can see, I'm just bullying them 24/7. Like now, if the enemy Rengar comes, I'm just fine. So I'm not even warding here. I'm not even worrying about ward. If I crush it in the tower, I can ward faster or I can pressure them a bit more. But what I want to do, I want to slow push as fast as humanly possible so I can actually bully them before the wave gets in the tower. Easy peasy, right? And again, here I'm not actually going for a ward. I want the Rengar to come here. If the Rengar comes here and I have one trap minimum, I can easily go on him. And this is basically what I do in situations like this. They can't really play the game. The Twitch has like 5 farm, so it's like super impossible for him to play. Check out the situation in Challenger, when to push, right? This Draven is significantly more ahead than the Corki. He has 4.4k gold, Corki has only 2.6k gold spent. 2 BF swords, Dirk. This is absolutely insane on Draven. Jungle is top lane right now, so what is he gonna do? Well, he wants to really punish, so he has 2 options. It's either he makes a big wave right here, 3 waves slow push into a crush, or he just pushes right away. The reason why he pushes right here is because he knows that he can pressure them with 1 wave, and this is very rare. Usually challenger players, they always prefer to crush 3 waves because they can actually take more plates with 3 waves, but he knows that he's so strong on Draven, he can tank tower shots, he can tank the hook, the Alistar can literally dive them with level 6 and they're still gonna win. As we can see, this is the reason why he actually pushed here. And this is like, it's super easy. Yes, in 99% of the cases, if you're not this strong, you usually want to look to slow push, because with the 3 waves crush, you can simply just going to go for the better amount of plates. But if you know you're significantly stronger than your enemies and you can pressure, you can get something done in tower, you can also consider fast pushing. Again, if you're gonna find yourself pushing fast, then they clear the wave and you don't get anything, it would be much better to just slow push, right? Another situation that you might occur in your games is your jungle doing Drake, so you usually want to look to either hover or just fast push so you can actually look to follow, which is good in the majority of the cases, but there are many situations where your jungle is doing Drake and you should not push. This would be the most stupid decision that you can take. Yes, and I'm telling you, do not push when your jungle is doing Drake. Let's see why and let's see what I'm talking about specifically. So this is an example from my coaching session, right? So this guy, he was on the bot lane playing the Jhin. The jungle is doing Drake right now, and here he said, oh, I'm gonna push and I'm gonna move, right? It's a no-brainer. And I told him, wait, this is not good, because if you push this wave, the next wave is actually in the first tower right here. So what's going to end up happening with the wave that you're going to push is that it's going to actually meet close to their tower and it's going to freeze. So from a bot lane perspective, the decision is bad, but from a jungle perspective, the decision is good. So if he needs to help the Talia, he should. The problem is that if the Drake is actually 1000 HP or 600 HP or 700 HP, like really low, and you have a jungle that can immediately take it in like the next 5 seconds, there is absolutely no reason for you to push here. So this bronze thinking of, oh, I'm gonna push when my jungle is doing Drake, it's good, but first you can look there, see the HP of the Drake, see what's going on there, and after that you can take the decision if you want to push or not. And of course, if you ask a challenger player, he will also ask you about, no bro, but you should also take into consideration the enemy jungle pathing and you should track him to make sure you make the best decision, whether you have priority mid or not. It should also help you to make the decision whether you guys have resources like ultimates on Malphite or ultimates on Talia can also make a difference in making the decision, but this is too complicated. What I'm telling you is usually want to hover these things, and this is based on the HP of the Drake, whether you want to push it or not. Let's check this is a coaching session when I actually teach this guy exactly what he should do. Okay, that's very nice. The thing is, if you're looking at there and Drake is 1000 HP, you should not push here.
Yeah, true.
So you would have to look first before pushing and then take the decision.
Right.
Because here you push, you're like, okay, I'm gonna push. Then you're looking there. Okay, in this case, it's okay. It was like 2000 HP. So it's not bad to push, but it's like, just look at the Drake, see if she needs you there. Because if it's a Kindred with one item, the Drake is like 1000 gold. It's like, why? It's because the bronze player tells you, oh, you need to push if they do Drake. Well, League is a lot more complicated than that. And of course, some challenger player will also tell you that you should be thinking about the mid lane priority and you should be thinking about the enemy jungle pathing, but this is a bit too much. So you can keep it simple. Look at the Drake HP, and Drake HP and the HP of the Talia and how fast she can actually do the Drake will tell you if I push, I go, or yeah, exactly.
I see.
Perfect. So this is the coaching session that you can see here, how I teach this guy exactly what he needs to do. And on my Discord, you can actually see the people that got coached. We have people here that were in April Gold 1, and in May they got to Diamond after the coaching. People that were absolutely hard stuck. This guy was Bronze 4. He did the coaching. He got to Gold 4. We got people that got from Bronze to Diamond in like 6 months. We got people that were from Gold 4 to Grandmaster as rank. AD carry mains a huge lot, support mains, jungle mains a lot, mid lane mains, top lane mains. So if you truly want to get better, you want to find out your mistakes. This right here, what you're seeing is the proof that this can be you. You can improve, and I'm telling you, you can see your real mistakes and you will have a strategy on how to fix them. So if you truly want to get better, if you're serious about getting better, improving, and finding out your real mistakes that hold you back, go ahead to bizazz.com, guys. book your coaching session right now. You won't miss. You won't regret this. It's absolutely bonkers. Here it's a lot of people here.